see and hear me. And of course I left the stereo on over there, I can hear myself. Oh, how's everyone's weeks been? Gotta remember I got a stereo over there now. Usually I got the phone set up straight there, but getting a bit more of a view because obviously this time what's here is different, but we'll get into that once some numbers pick up or people start asking questions. Hey Cornfed, how you going? Hey Baz, how you going? Well, it looks like Cornfed actually sent that a while ago. He might not be here. That's good, Baz, I'm good. I've got 4 days left of being home and back to work. Had a long stint off, so it'll be good to get back, start earning some money again. And try to pass some time till all this shenanigans. You can do something there, and that's up there, so yeah. Hey Cornfed. You must have jumped on quickly ages ago. Hey Delco Wizard, how you going? Good to see you on here. Yeah, that's it, Baz. I got to get the bank replenished. I drained it a fair bit. I didn't actually spend too much money on crap apart from the car trailer, so I did pretty good, but still obviously mortgage, bills, car regos all come up for every time I was off, so yeah, spent a lot of money that way. Hey 12th man, how you going? Hey Matt, how's things? Cheeky Cornfed, cheeky. That's exactly it. That's fact. I tried my hardest not to spend money. Like, I really would have liked to have just bought things so I had stuff to do, stuff to tinker with, or set things up, or enjoy new things. Everyone likes that. New tools, new toys, whatever it may be. But I stopped myself from doing it because I knew I'd regret it when my bank account went to zero, and I still didn't have, or still wasn't back at work. But yeah. Hey, Basic Forerunner. Yeah, you did make it on time. How'd the Dyno session go? I will wait till the numbers jump up a bit more if they do. But yeah, otherwise I can say it multiple times if people prefer that. But I haven't posted anything in any of the forums or the Facebook groups about it because I wasn't too keen on it just yet. You spent all your project money on the new daily. Yeah, right, that sucks. When are you getting back to the track? Are you going to try to get another PB out of it, or are you changing things up? Delco Wizard. Yeah, I know, Baz, I go for blues as well, and it tore me. I was going to bail on this stream, and then I was going to go to my cousins and watch State of Origin because we're both blues fans. I'm almost thinking of putting it up on a laptop that I use some music in here over there so I can watch the score in the background while I'm streaming. But it's my last stream for a week or so while I go back to work, so I thought, I better do it, plus all the post-Dyno shenanigans. Fuck the Maroons, man. Blues. Oh yeah, sweet, this season. I'm hoping to have this completely sorted by then. I think my season here in WA starts September, I think, so I've got a couple months, but yeah, well, there's been a setback after the dyno. I might as well say it anyway. Clutch slipped on the dyno, so we stopped pushing it because the limiter, we just kept hitting limiter earlier and earlier on the dyno speed / wheel speed. Hence why you can see the gearbox there on the tranny jack and the car's up on the hoist. We pushed it as far as 609 horsepower. That was at 6,500 RPM and 19 psi boost. It still had 1,000 plus RPM left in it, even on that boost level, and it was still climbing massively. Like it was just, yeah, the graph was like this, just straight going up. So heads, cam, turbo was still flowing very well, even though the turbo probably even wasn't in its efficiency range, but it was still going. Yeah, we were going for a full send that night, but didn't happen. So I ripped the other day. Well, got it back. I had a day off because I was just too pissed off to touch it. The next day I ripped the box out, ripped the clutch and flywheel out, and I sent it straight back to direct to get it serviced and looked at and get the pressure plate changed. So hopefully next time we can push further and make what it's meant to make. $70 hours in 6 days. Not bad. You do it 11 and a half with some 12s. We pushed it as far as 609 at 19 psi boost at 6,500 RPM. This motor will rev to 7.5 fine. The limiter is currently set at 7.2 for when I get the clutch back, and I can test it on the street before booking in the dyno again. Because obviously on the street we can tell if it's going to slip because it slipped at peak torque and then slipped at the top end. And even in my old videos, whether it's on Facebook or on YouTube, in the uploads, you can actually hear it slip at peak torque. You hear the RPM change and then change again as it keeps on going. Yeah, Baz, I was, but I guess this has nothing to do with the corn fed because it was completely fine on his car, but I guess in a sense deserve it. It's what I get for buying the second-hand part. But yeah. Boosted, that is bad. It should have been an 800 plus horsepower dyno session. So yeah, 609. That's pathetic. Basically the average street car in Perth these days is 1,000 plus. So it's nothing to even look at. It's not even to 609 isn't even anywhere near worth warranting anti-roll racing or say like a test and tune or a drag and drive event. Well, the drag racing, especially the weight of the car. But yeah, 609 is nowhere near anything. Matt, I'm going to stay manual as long as I can. I will 100% not be going to glide. I'll be going T400 or 4080 if I go, well, when I go auto, because at some point I will go auto. Either the box is going to blow, or I'll get more serious with the drag racing and times and trying to get the my own PB plus take some records out. Possibly, depends. In the future, we'll see. But yeah, for now, it's staying manual. Yeah, boosted that it'll all be well and good until you need to change gear. But yeah, look, the car beat the 600 curse finally. It's always had issues. It still had issues and got past it. But yeah, Justin just said there's no point pushing it further. We'll just start hurting the clutch more and more, and then it'll end up costing me more to get it fixed or rebuild or replacement parts. So we left it at that, which is fine. There's no point pushing shit uphill. So yeah, is what it is. Yeah. We thought I possibly hadn't shimmed the slave correct, but he wanted me to check it and make sure I shimmed it 15 to 16 mil. I had it shimmed with the measurements I took the day I pulled it out at 16 mil. My book that I wrote all my notes in the measurements when I installed everything the first time, so I set it at 15. So this time it showed I set it at 16. It could be variance of tools or how far I got the bearing pushback this time compared to last time, but yeah. Yeah, best spec, I only go to Justin at BYE. He tunes all my cars, apart from the Ford, as that was already tuned when my cousin owned it. But yeah, I won't go to anyone else. I like Justin's tunes. Yeah, I like his tunes, I like him as a person, and he's easy to get along with, and he's always been very helpful. He'll explain things to me and show me things and how he does things and why he does it and what it means. Yeah, and he doesn't have an issue with me hanging around having a chat after or just kicking back, and he always slots me in and makes time for me. So yeah, BYE for me is the place to go. Boosted 400 cornfed doesn't have a record down the drag strip in a manual, so I am chasing down Gun 38T, Jason De Silva, I think his surname is. I'm chasing down his record. Who's Ryan boosted? Yeah, Baz. Same here, but obviously everyone has their own opinions and people have some bad luck with workshops or just talk shit about it through mates or whatever, but apart from that, yeah. I am chasing that down, but we'll see with the turbo where it maxes out. So far it's showing very promising signs with the power it made at what RPM and boost, but that's still a big gap to go from where it was to where it needs to be. You know, it needs to go this far, but why don't we go that far? But yeah, so far it's exceeded my expectations for the boost level and RPM for where it's at, which is good. Yeah, it would be good to see if I can claim a quarter number. I highly doubt it. I honestly do not think my short track will be good at all. I need to work on launching a lot. That's what's going to let me down, really. But I'll be trailing it there, so maybe I won't be thinking about it and I will just send it on the launch, which will help. Oh, sorry. What have I got? 45-ish minutes till I got to, probably even less than that till I got to get the game on. Matt, there's no point Dane and I racing till I'm auto as well. One, he's going to short track me every day of the week, and so far he should, yeah, big end as well, he should get me easy. And we are the complete opposite side of the country, so there's that too. A lot of money to get a car either way or to a neutral area. Yeah, 1.560 foots. I think the best I got in that was a 2 or 2.2 60 foot because I pussy farted the launch and it bogged a little bit. So there's a big difference there. That's a full second right there, really. I'm getting 2 seconds 60 footsy all 1.5, so yeah, that's a full second difference there, so yeah. Well, usually with the Garrett turbos and this frame size, they're not in the efficiency range till about 22 PSI plus. Oh yeah, so same 60 foot as what I managed. Yeah, Matt, it would be, but for it to be even, I would have to be showing over 1,000 at the rear wheels on the dyno due to the auto and converter sapping up the power readout. So for it to be the same engine HP, I'd be having to have at least over 1,000 horsepower on the dyno for it to be a fair race. That, or wait till we both done quarters and we're trapping the same mile per hour, which is the proper way really to tell. So once we're around the same mile per hour, then maybe I'll look at getting the car over Queensland. Yeah, still not a fair race though, definitely. But something like that, if I was still manual, I'd be interested, like Victoria doing one of their Holden all day, whatever it is they do down there. And hopefully Superman's there and can shut Scotty up with his piece of shit stroker and pathetic turbo that he'll be doing. That's going to break at 500. We could meet in the middle, but I'm not too keen in racing in Northern Territory. There's only that one event there, and it's bugger all drag racing. It's mainly burnout, so I'd rather go to Vic where there's some big hitters. Plus it's hot in Northern Territory. I don't do too well with the heat. Well, my skin doesn't do too well with the heat. Yeah, Sydney rolls would be cool. A couple of Sydney drag meets would be kind of cool as well, because you've got CRD, Matooks and Empire there, so that'd be real big hitters. Obviously not to race those guys, but just to watch them in between our runs as well. Hey, Stabjet Auto, yeah, that'd be sick. Well, that's one of the thing. I don't know if you've been on any of the other streams that I've been doing, but when Cornfed and I've been talking about doing a race or something, and Victoria's mentioned, we've always said any of the Turbo, Eco, L67 guys, whatever it is, down there. Same as every state, it would be cool to try get as many as we can down there and just have a fun-friendly race. Yeah, true. I'd be really keen to go to Cootamundra and enter, I'm not sure, I can't remember. I know that Jason in Gun 38T used to enter, so whatever class he was in, or even, I think it was a muscle car class, which I guess Commodores come under, because I've seen them in there for whatever stupid reason. That would be a really cool event to do as well. Yeah, Heathcote would be mint, but yeah. Cootamundra, no, you can enter. There's certain events at Cootamundra which are invite only, but the ones that have Fords, Holdens, I guess there's like the old Rotaries, the old Mazdas and all that crap. No, you can actually, I checked on their website when one event was going, anyone can actually enter. So yeah, that'd be really cool to do. I really don't need a cage there. What do you know what mile per hour you need to shoot at there? No worries, boosted forerunner. As long as the chat's still going, I'll be doing the stream for a couple of hours again. So yeah, we'll see how we go. 140. Yeah, right, so should only really be able to get a pass in and then get kicked out for a cage. Sorry, for a shoot. Hey Nitro, how are you going? Have you managed to spending more time in your car or still busy? That's awesome. You're here to 8 seconds, but that's kind of backwards at the same time. Like to get 8 seconds, you're almost going to be hitting 140 mile per hour every time, unless you got a what, a 1200 kilo car. That's not too bad, 4 hours. Realistically, how many hours do you reckon you have left till you can turn key and see if she fires? Corn-fed doesn't that Lightning McBarra run 9s and it's still in the 130s though? Because it's light as hell. Or are you talking about in a commie? Yeah, fill up a chute would be pretty quick and easy. Would look cool as well. The only thing is I wouldn't want to cut. Oh, I guess I could get it made just so I don't have to cut the bumper up because I wouldn't use the chute all the time, obviously. Oh yeah, that's alright then. It's got a nice long runoff. Oh sweet, so you wouldn't even really need to use the chute ever. Just have it on there so they're happy. Yeah, I wouldn't see someone do that under 1.7 tonne. Hey Wild 67, is it still a big thing where you are? I really 40 to 60 hours and 5k. What have you got left to buy? Is it lines and fittings and all that crap? Yeah, when do you plan to head back to the track? It's awesome now that you're doing videos as well. It's good to see that on the same platform but different platform, if that makes sense. You're saying it's Shazza, but I've got no idea who that is. And you're in bed with COVID. Yeah, right, so I'm guessing you got the bad symptoms from it or whatever. I was pretty lucky when I got it, I had 0 symptoms, and by 0 I mean absolutely 0 symptoms at all. Just tested positive, that's the only thing that happened. Stabjet, are you hoping for like a 9.2 with your current setup? Roy Hill. Nah, you need to give me another clue because that's not helping at all. Really? Puffer? That's... Oh well, hopefully she gets better quickly, Baz. Ah, I wondered, but reading Shazza, I thought female. Geez, you haven't had a good run lately, have you? Your daughter and now yourself. Really, 2 weeks? That sucks. Are you going to do the heads yourself stabs yet? Or have you looked into sending them to Nathan? Oh yes, sweet. You're just going to feed it all the boost. Boy, nines is the ultimate. Yeah, that'd be killer. Are you going to stay hydraulic roller, or are you going to look at maybe going solid? Yeah, well, hopefully it's on the upwards part now, Shazza. Yeah, same here. Definitely keen to see it going. Nitro clutch slipped. So that's why box is there on the tranny jack and the car's up on the hoist. We didn't push past 609 horsepower. It made 609 at 19 psi at 6,500 RPM. With it slipping there, we know it was slipping at the top because the engine, the dyno roller speed and the gearbox VSS speed were going lower and lower, and obviously you could see it on the graph too. You could see where it would hit limiter further back and back, but that's how we verified it, at least anyway. Yeah, we tried a couple of different things. We tried different gears. We tried different loads on the dyno to test it, if it was wheel slip or clutch, and it ended up 100% being clutch. So yeah, Justin said there's no point pushing further than that, so we don't ruin the clutch more. So yeah, rip the clutch and flywheel out, send it off, get looked at, get the pressure plate changed to one suited for what I need. But yeah, had a slippy boy. So apart from the clutch slipping, everything was perfect. No issues at all. Yeah, sweet. That'll be killer. You'll have to make sure it'd be awesome if you make a video on that, if you do port them yourself, because there's bugger all. I know Cornfed did one, but I don't think I've seen any others on YouTube about porting heads in this platform. And the old 3.8, and obviously I know yours is a 4.2, but same heads, etc., for everyone watching. And then even if you get them flowed, it'd be cool to find out how they ended up flowing after you ported them. Yeah, that's on the cards. I'm starting to try to find a case. Everywhere at the moment, it's all exchange basis. So if I can find one for the right price at the moment, I'll look into it and have it there and start to get it built to suit what I need anyway. But I'm looking into going auto. I want to stick with the manual for a little bit longer. At least get a couple drift events too in with the manual. Baz, are you talking about the Kevin Yates heads? As far as I'm aware, the last, I think it was 12 or 13 castings he bought himself. At least he's putting his name down on them, and I've heard somewhere that he's paying for himself, but there's no word on anything about them being put into production yet, or anyone being asked for money yet, so it's all up in smoke as far as I know. Yeah, fair enough, makes sense. I don't blame you at all. That's the exact same reason I want to try stay hydraulic. Yeah, that's actually who I talked to last about it, Baz. Yeah, as Cornfed just said, I think the video's delayed for you guys, but as you just said there anyway, yeah, he's gone off the radar. No one's heard anything from old Kevin Yates in a while. At least he hasn't taken anyone's money. yet, and everyone's waiting. So yeah. Yeah, sweet. That'll be really awesome to watch. But yeah, before and after flow figures would be really cool. Especially we can see obviously before, and then you show what you've, the effort you put into what you've done, and see the after. It's awesome to see the gains there. Now on the plus side of things, since I can't do anything with this, I can continue cracking on with the Misso's car that we're LS1 swapping. I've done the harness, the engine harness for it, got rid of all the wiring that we don't need, relocated all the ECU plugs to go inside in the cabin, so that's pretty much all done. As you can see in the corner there, that's the transmission. I've got to cut a bit out, got the bell housing area to suit the starter relocation, and then once that's all tippled up and done, I've either got to get a Novats ECU or I'm going to buy the HP tuner's dongle myself so I can tune it myself and yeah, get it fired up. Obviously need a tail shaft made and exhaust, but at least we can get it fired up and verify that it runs and everything's all sweet. So I've got what, 4 days left. I might spend some time on this and see how far we can get. Yeah, not sure that's it, and we still had 1,000 plus RPM to go. That was at 6,500 RPM, and we will be spinning to at least 7.5 if the turbo flow is still there. At the moment we've got a 7,200 limiter, so I can test it when the clutch is sorted, obviously, so I'm not going to sit there and ride a limiter, but at least I've got the headroom. See if it slips up top. And yeah, it does give me some hope that I might get some decent figures. Regardless, I know it's going to be bullshit quick, because even before on the run-in tune at 30% throttle and about 10 psi, it was bullshit fast. But yeah. Got to look into some carbon parts. Because I think the only difference between Cornfed's and mine, weight-wise, I've got an electric power steering pump, but I've deleted all the AC, and mine's about 100 kilos lighter. And cheers to Abjet, yeah, it is good that it came off running and driving it through the belt. One thing that has happened though is my alternator relocation kit bracket thing that I made up. It somehow seems to have tweaked, because before the pulley and everything was dead in line, and then now the angles, it's changed. So say you got the harmonic balance like that, I think harmonic balance sits like, without the tranny anyway, we're looking at it as like this, and the alternator was like that. So some of my bracket, that was meant to be a temporary bracket. I do have a solid plate there that I still need to finish grinding out into the correct shape, but it seems to have moved, which I didn't expect it to work. But so when I was loading it onto the trailer, it threw the belt, which I've now fixed what I can with that setup, so it looks like it's in line. But obviously, the flywheel, I can't start it and verify it. But yeah, apart from that, it came off the dyno perfect. I honestly, if I'd got the alternator belt to stay on and tested, I could have gone and driven it and experienced it like that. There's nothing wrong with it. It was just slipping, so I just took it out, which is a big win, really, that nothing went catastrophically wrong. Yeah, Baz, I'm going to look into, got to finish grinding it, making sure it 100% fits around the timing cover, and because I've got the oil filter relocation and some sensors, just make sure everything clears around that with the plate I've got. And then I was actually going to use that, make a CAD file and get it laser or water jet cut in, have multiples of it, and I was actually going to make a kit as a alternative relocation for people if they went electric power steering. So I'm looking into that, but yeah, I did read up that 4140 was good, so if you can, now that you've confirmed that, that's probably the way I'll go. I'll get my new piece sorted, make sure everything works, all the holes that I've drilled and tap in the right spot, and then I'll go get it properly cut. So water jet, right, so I'll look for a water jet place then. Because that'll be cool. But I guess I could, yeah. Well, the only thing with my kit though is that uses a 10mm spacer between the alternator mount. Actually, I'll get it on camera, part of it. So let me just give a sec till my laptop catches up. So this is the factory alternator, tensioner and mount, and all I've done is I've cut here, this spout comes out longer, cut it flush with these two bolt holes, because obviously I'm not using this. I could keep it on there for someone else, but I'm not using these water necks at all anymore, so I cut that flat there, it's not needed. And then this back bit here, I cut there, rounded it over. I divoted this just because I've got wiring that runs through there from my water pump, because it's an electric water pump. So that's all tucked away. So with this here, with a 10mm spacer, this pulley here and obviously the alternator lines up with the supercharger drive. So I have a the SFI one, which is 5% overdriven, but then I have a 15% underdriven pulley on it, so it's actually 10% underdriven, which works out in my favour because of the high RPM. But yeah, so a 10mm spacer like this puts it in line with the L67 drive system. So if any eco guys are using that and they want to go high rise, it's an option. Yeah, got you, Baspec. Yeah, that's an awesome result. Delco, that's exactly why this time I went straight to Nathan Kyrie, because I knew they had a good set of heads, make a huge difference. And that's why I got him to spec me a cam as well, so he could do it all to suit. That's what you want, less pressure, more power. Hey Joel, how you going? Hopefully you get to a quarter event or test and tune corn fed. So keen to see what ET managed to get in your mile per hour. See how accurate the Hoff's dyno is. If you've missed it, Joel, so car's on the hoist, the gearbox is out on a tranny jack. That might give you a cue, might give you a hint, a clue. That's what I was looking for. I was getting my words muddled up. A clue on what happened. So I'll let you have a guess, and then yeah, I'll confirm or deny. Don't you have a long run off at the end? And do you have a sand trap at the end, or do you guys just have a turn and nothing else? Yeah, Joel, bang on, clutch slipped. And not a shit clutch, it was a $2,800 clutch. Oh, really? Have you thought about just putting different pads and rotors on? Because this has factory brakes and they're completely fine. Like I've been well over 200 and it slowed the car down absolutely fine without locking up. Nah, Joel, it's actually the clutch that came out of Cornfed's car. He sold it because I was too much of a Jew to spend the money, and the guy that bought it, his motor was taking ages to build or find funds, so I ended up buying it off him because I ended up just wanting a clutch that's going to hold, so I asked Cornfed who bought it. He gave me the contact details. I got in contact with him and yeah, he sold it to me. But yeah, which in a sense, like, I'm not surprised it slipped for me because yes, it was used because I'm a cheap fuck. Two, when I took it to a machine shop to get balanced to the other clutch that was balanced to this rotating assembly, the machine shop, the guy there said everything on it looked absolutely fingered. Yeah, and obviously it was confirmed on the dyno. Well yeah, that's it, Cornfed. The clutch should hold, but something's not happy. I'll find out in a week or two's time, however long it takes Australia Post and Direct Clutch to get to it. They said they get sent multiples every day. Oh really, booster is the leak. Yeah, right. Possibly, but the irons still look absolutely cooked. We'll see what they say. Apparently that clutch wasn't meant to be driven on the street either. It was purely just a drag strip clutch as well when I rang and I was having a chat to him. So I said street driving would have killed it as well. Yeah, Joel, but that's part of the game. You buy second hand, you can't expect everything to be perfect. I really confident that's not one of the guys said when I rang him the day I posted it asking if they wanted the flywheel. Because I was going to be, because I was having that one rounding off, I was like, fuck this, I'll just leave it on. But yeah, no, they needed it. Yeah, what's weird though is when I put it in, the shims were to spec and it was fine to drive for me. But I'll see, once I get it back, I'll see what it's like to drive. But I'm used to the Ford anyway, and that is not sprung, the centre's non-sprung, same as what that one is, and it's on-off switch, you can't ride it. So I'm used to that, so I might be alright. We'll see though. Yeah, won't be going back on the dyno to probably at least end of August, I'd say, because I'm away at work for 2 weeks at a time, and no doubt it won't arrive when I'm home, so I'll have to, yeah, I think it will arrive maybe it will arrive between the 1st of August onwards, the cotch coming back, and then it depends if I'm home or not. I'd have to get it in and then slot it in on the dyno again. So yeah, I'd probably say end of August, mid to end of August, depending. Maybe when we get it back on the dyno. Yeah, once you go on, it's alright, but I can't see it being any different than the Ford Zoe, because that's, like I was saying, unsprung, on-off, no riding at all. And I'm used to that, so maybe it won't be the same, but at least because I'm used to that, this won't seem as bad, I guess. Yeah, that'll be sweet. Be curious to see how his does. I'm assuming you guys are logging air intake temps as well. I'll be curious to see what his gets. Someone in the chat's going to have to answer that one to you, Joel. As far as I'm aware, it won't fit and you shouldn't or can't grind away. Where I'm pretty sure that the ring gear is way too big pretty much everywhere. Oh really? Just 60 degrees? That's actually awesome. That's almost turbo territory there. Yeah, sweet. What gearbox does he have? It's in a different position. Ah. That's another thing as well we've got to look at in this. Last time I was at the drags, it's meant to have a cars, whatever you want to say it, two-way locker in it, but it did singles in the burnout and it spun one tyre down the whole strip. So that one side was driving, the other side was spinning. Oh yeah, that's bloody good. What's that? Half the intake temps, that's awesome. Yeah, going fed, I thought about spoiling it. I just have to evaluate how much I'll drive it on the street, because I really cannot be bothered changing axles. But 4060, it'd be interesting to see if the 4060 holds on to it. I've heard of so many built 4060s still blowing. But then again, I guess it comes down to the builder. Yeah, fair enough. I just know back in one of my old skid cars, I had a VN wagon and that was mini spooled, and I used to go through axles all the time because I dailied it. It was my skid car, but I dailied it to and from work every single day for about a year and a half, and it was always replacing an axle. And then the other side was always bent. That's really quick. That's definitely a good interchiller setup. Is it a custom interchiller or is it an off-the-shelf bit that's been modified, or simply just a bolt-in part? Cornfed, I only entered 2 skid events in it. Yeah. On note 3, the first one I did was absolutely fine. The second one on the practice, they allowed you, it was actually the Burnout King event at Easter that Perth Motorplex does, and if you get there early, you get to practice before spectators are in, and literally that practice one, it snapped as I dropped the clutch. After that, for like another 10 months, I just daily drove it, and I went through 5 axles. But then again, obviously it's a different diff and setup because it's a live axle. But yeah, it definitely wasn't from burnouts. Oh yeah, fair enough. Oh, well, that's awesome. Hopefully once he gets his like final dyno figure, he does like a build breakdown, whether it's a video or a post. It'd be awesome because it's proving what works and what doesn't. Might stop all the million questions a day that are the exact same. It could have just been my luck as well, Confed. I seem to have a certain luck with cars. Apart from the VE, touch wood. I need to get that on too. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just staring into my laptop for a second. Fucking serious cunt. I don't know what the fuck the password would be. Watch it online. I'll watch it later. No one ruined the score unless if New South Wales is winning, and I want to know. Oh, Joe, I don't even get. We've been. Fuck, you mentioned it now. It's going to happen. Yeah, well, maybe that's it. Just then Nitro. It was literally just that it was a VN. Maybe I'll have more luck in this. But yeah, Spall is definitely an option I'll look into. I know it's cheap to rebuild to a CAS, but in saying that, when I bought the car, that's what I got told was in it. I've never opened the rear diff hat because I'm too lazy. So for all I know, it could be a factory LSD that's given up. Which, if that's the case, then yeah, if it is a factory LSD, then I'll 100% just whack a spool in it. And then just get a shitload of spare axles. Just get a good stockpile of them. At that point, Confed, I'd rather just do a spool. No, Joel had 15s, just stockies on the rear. I ran around on 18s on the front, which were the skid car steerers per se, and I always just had stockies on the rear. One, because they were cheap, and 2, because they were cheap. And I only had 2 of the same 18-inch rims, and I wasn't buying rims for a daily / skid car. Yeah, a spool should be pretty much unbreakable, shouldn't they? Hey Sneezy, it depends on which ones. There isn't many forged ecos that have been killed at all. Is there one in particular you're talking about? Majority of the time will be a bad tune, but still it takes a lot of effort for that. Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about the spool center. That's alright though, so maybe the airbags did exactly what they're meant to do then. Unless if you just literally had a shit axle at one time, but still, who cares? It worked. Yeah, if you're talking about mine, Steve, I was unlucky and like my timing chain snapped. And it was an aftermarket dual chain from Rollmaster. It snapped, left the valve open, and funnily enough, the chain snapped when I started the motor. Because I drove to Misso's parents' house before we built this and moved in together. Drove to Misso's parents' house, turned the car off, and it was running fine. And then the next morning when I went to work, because it was Sunday evening and I drove there, I went to go start the car at 5:30 in the morning. It turned over, the part of the rotation just went clunk. Yeah, sweet, that's good then. I didn't pay attention to the height actually when you were racing. I was watching everything else, but did you raise the car up with the airbags at all, or did you just pump it up enough that it gave some assistance? Or what pressure did you put them to? And boy, it didn't look fun to put them in either. I literally had to skip the part of your video where you're putting it in. I was like, I can imagine doing that, it's too painful, I can't watch. Oh yeah, sweet. Like that's alright, like a little pressure in it, it's helping that much. That's mid. Alright, I want to try again. Let's see if I can get into it. And a single, that's probably fucking right. Alright, there we go. We've got the game playing on the side now. Yeah, that is the factory 4060 for this. Sorry, I was just getting State of Origin up on the laptop as well, which I'm going to keep flicking between. Hopefully this website isn't behind, but it's showing it's 7 minutes 30 in. Yeah, I've got to, as part of a bell housing on that, you got to cut just like a little rectangle out of so that it clears part of the starter relocation that needs to be done this, and then it can go in. I glued there's little spaces that go on the tabs for the converter, because obviously there's an adapter plate that gets bolted on to the starter relocation, so because that space is out, then you got to space out the converter so it engages correctly. I ended up gluing on the spaces, because I was just a prick to put on when you're trying to tighten the bolts up in there, so you just super glue them or Sikaflex or silicone them on so it holds at least to get the two bolts in. I did that, and then I hit Justin up if we're going to get on the Dyno, and he's like, oh, well, what are you doing tonight? And then from that point, I basically was rushing to load the car on the trailer and get all my gear set up. So I was doing that to then later that night or the next day to then use the training jack and put the transmission in, but obviously clutch slip happened, so this came off the hoist, that went on, and now that box is just sitting there. And I probably won't get the box in until this is back on the ground, because I really cannot be bothered swapping the cars twice. especially because they're both pushers now. Yeah. Still 0-0. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye out for cases for sale, but everything's all exchange basis only at the moment. Don't hit it. Well, I heard that inside. That's a bit of a delay from when I do it to actually streaming. I'll get a hammer and hit it. No one's talking, so I'm going to look at the... We need to get a TV set up in here. Could have a TV playing. So, Sneezy, I don't know if you're still watching, but you asked a question, then you just fuck off. We all tried answering, but you didn't reply back. It's fucking helpful. Oh, and now you reply. E-turn the clutch coming back, I've got no idea. Australia Post says it will arrive to them between the 1st and the 6th, which is great. That's an awesome fucking bit of information. I fly to work on the 1st, and I'm only doing a week swing this time because I think I'm falling in line with the roster that's already going on. I had to wait till someone was on site to do all the inductions for site there. Otherwise I'd already be there right now doing a 2-week swing. So if it's going to arrive when I'm at work, maybe if they get it done in that week they can send it back. I highly doubt it will arrive when I'm home on the 15th. I think it will work out. No, I'm home on the 8th till the 15th. I highly doubt it will arrive again in that time frame. And then from the 15th I'll be at work for 2 weeks, which then puts it around the 30th, 31st, 29th. Whatever the fuck it ends up being. So it won't come, if it comes back in between then, I won't physically see it till the very end of July to the beginning of August, I'd say, unless, but that also depends on how backed up they are with, because they said they get multiple clutches get sent in every day to get checked out. So it depends on how much workload they got there and how much business they have of building new clutches for orders as well. But yeah, I know, all good, Sneezy. I was just asked a question, disappeared. I was like, oh, but now if it isn't cutting out, can you answer what we said? What do you mean by what keeps killing forged Ecos L67s? Like, are you talking about one in particular? Are you talking about my first one, or do you just mean in general? So we can actually answer that properly. 604, which one's that, man? I don't know if they're stage 1, 2 or 3. I don't know what they're, if it starts at 604 and is that 606, or is it 352, 345? Or do you know what the specs are of it? Like the lift and duration, because we can also tell you from that if it's junk. Well, real junk, but whether it's definitely junk and don't even touch it. Hey, New South Wales, 2 points. In the league, boys. I was meant to fucking be there watching it too, because it's here in Perth. But then I was meant to be at work, so I didn't get tickets, and then it was too late. Nah, Cornfed's never buying one. Mine was unlucky, man. My timing chain snapped. Aftermarket Rollmaster dual chain snapped. Left a valve hanging open. went straight through a piston, and it put a bit of a scratch in the bore too, some material that came off. So that's all it was. Nothing kills them apart from a bad tune or unfortunate bad luck like I had. Nah, stay away from stage one. It's absolutely pointless. You could get high ratio rockers that will do the same thing. They are good, man. I'm using one again right now. It was like a freak unfortunate accident that it happened. So yeah. See a random spider just fucking crawling its way towards me on the ground. See if it gets closer and I'll get the cunt. Nah, don't. I wouldn't waste $10 on their stage one. I think JP is another brand that also make them. Never use them though. But yeah, I don't think there is anything better at the moment. I think it's JP, I might be wrong. And Sneezy, why are you going forged for 500 horsepower? Both stock motors will make that. Let's go back over geese. Still 2-0. That's a bit of a fucking fub. Yeah, Crow seem to do a lot of generic crap. The only good thing about Crow is they own Camtex grinds, so you can get a decent cam. Their specialist Turbo Eco grind is dog shit. It's only got 550 lift as well. 551 to be exact. Fifth tackle, where are we at? 10 out. Turnover. Fair enough, it's already hurt then, yeah. Just very, very expensive thing to overbuild it though. That's it, corn-fed. What a way. fourth tackle, good. I've never adjusted the 4L60 on Tuner Pro. I always just do the diode mod because I don't street drive any auto. All my autos are bush hacks. Sneezy, are you 4L60 or Getrag? What about factory confed? I've never even looked actually. I might even open Tuner Pro right now. Oh, I hate that unregistered shit. Why do I bother putting that there when you don't have to pay to use it? Automatic pressure. Is it force motor pressure added that you guys deal with? Fuck's sake, how many table styles open? Or pressure added. I don't want that. Oh yeah, that table's helpful. Ring just says 0. That's probably why I never fucked with it. Because fuck autos. Alright, best of luck with the built 4L60. Always hit and miss from what I've seen. You might get lucky though. Hey Michael, appreciate the kind words. Stock VS ECU is the Memcal base, which everyone calls Chit. I don't have anything to do with them because I don't have a EE prom burner or a UV eraser. I only deal with the flash based ECUs, which are VX, VU, which is a VXU, and VY, naturally aspirated, which is the brown and tan plugs, which I have one right here. So it's only these ECUs here with the brown and tan plugs. So the VS I can't really help as I don't personally have experience. That's just writing to the chip though. Anything to do with modifying anything is the same on Tuner Pro. But yeah. It depends what tips you want on it for that ECU, because there's a few people on here that would help. Sneezy Getrags, as far as I'm aware, has gone 617 horsepower. But they've also blown 1,000,000 times as well. I don't know if I said 619 or 617, but 617. Yeah, NV RAM is the go. Just never bother with that crap. Always here in WA, most people with VSs are, yeah, I don't need to say anything else. Fair enough. Well, Michael, as Cornfed said, look into getting an NV RAM. Go on to PCM hacking and search it up and find the right person to get in contact with there. And that'll be the best way to go. You can tune in real live time then. And you can just store straight to it, I believe. Oh, sweet. Right, I'm gonna get the update. 2-0 through, and just over halfway through the first half. Ah, fuck. Never mind. Ignore what I said. Yeah, Joel, I made sure. Stocked up on more jacks as well. Oh, really? You can't log at the same time? Damn. Tell you what, I'm absolutely loving that I finally stopped being lazy and got the downlights done in the hoist area. It's so much brighter and better. What do you usually drink, Sneezy? Really, another cancellation. Man, start taking those deposits straight away. Get a deposit, lock it in, and if they cancel, then you're up. That's on them. Ah, Rogie. Fuck, spring chicken. My recommendation is this. It's all you need in life, and you'll be happy. Regardless if they were junk or not, that's pretty cheap. What state are you in, Sneezy? Because if you're not in WA, you probably won't find it. Really not a beer drinker, Joe. Yeah, fair enough, a proper junk. 6-2. Marines are up. Oh, sorry, I just didn't recognise the YouTube name. Super Crisp tastes like vinegar, man. Isn't Super Crisp a MIDI as well? Hey, there we go. 6-all. And they still got the conversion to go. Could be back in the boys. Boys still got a chance. Talking about state of origin in case anyone's wondering. Ah, you're Josh Plays. Yeah, right. Well, that bloody makes sense. Why then? Okay, now all your messages make sense. Oh, sorry, all your comments on here. So you got Forex mine sites over here in WA, they're all MIDI now because too many girls decided that they said no the next morning, if you get what I mean. So we're all limited to 4 drinks only and middies, and most of the time the best drink there in my case, because I like normal beer, that's no boutiquey, no hoppy, no fancy fucking ponytail, sunglasses on a fucking bit of wire around your neck faggot shit. I just like straight beer, and 4X Gold is basically straight up beer. Are you talking about the purple 4X or the yellow 4X? Nah, Sneezy, all good. You don't need to say anything. More fun to tune and mess around with, the VZSS 100%, depending on what year. Well, actually, regardless, it doesn't matter, that'd be more fun. For VZSS, you need to get HP tuners. That ECU there's flashable straight away. You need to get your head wrapped around HP tuners, which isn't too bad. There's by plenty. There's hundreds of videos online on how to tune on them. Depending on the year that and model that the VZSS is, depends on what diff ratio and also what motor it has, because I'm not sure which ones, but I know some of them got the 6 litres, which makes a world of difference as well. But yeah. Oh yeah, sweet. So yeah, it's the yellow 4X and the middies, the same as what we get at mine sites here, and that's my drink of choice when I'm at work. Purple, I've done 2 streams now where I've drunk them. 4X Bitter, Tin Shed TV, who, that's his name on YouTube, you might know him as Evan, or his car is Big Ev. He sent me 6 of those beers and I sent him 6 exports. But yeah, they were purple. I'm pretty sure, yeah, last week's I drank 2 of them. I had 2 left, or 4 of them. I can't remember, but yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Sneezy, the Buick ECU and harness doesn't use MAP, they use a MAP sensor. Maps. Factory, you can use a factory one, but if you use a Buick ECU, you need to change to the MV RAM and then get a 3-bar MAP sensor. Yeah, I think we do a different variety here, but especially with mine sites anyway, because, well, yeah, especially with mine sites, because I think like at least 60% of miners are from Queensland. They take our money and fuck off back home. Oh yeah, that makes sense, because at work it's always fucking hot. So yeah, cold beer's always great. Yeah, it might be Michael, I'm not sure. It could have only been in the Thunder Utes that got them. I'm not sure if any sedans got them. Like, I've never really looked into the VZ V8s too much. Joel, the purple 4X is 4X bitter. You've never seen one come factory with a 3-bar map. Ever. And I'm pretty sure I have 2 factory ones in a drawer over there. Not that they actually say how many bar they are, but... No, you can't. The plugs are different. You have to use whatever harness the car is, that's the ECU you have to use. Yeah, so the only Buick ECU and harness. Yeah, I don't think there is any carmaker tuners in Tasmania. So yeah, you could convert yours to map. I actually have a spare VY harness there that's already converted to map, ready for CalMaker, and you'd have to get Basil from Brushworks to fly down to Tas and dry hire a dyno. Yeah, honestly though, your best way really is aftermarket ECU, to be honest. Partner with 3-bar map sensor, literally just eBay it. Just search on eBay 3-bar map sensor. They all work. They're all the same. You'll get a 5-volt feed, a sensor ground, and fan the signal. That's the only thing. You can use any other brand map sensor as well, as long as the calibration table works. But it's easy just to get the same factory style one with eBay. They're like 15 bucks. I actually have one. Let me check. Yeah, Sneezy, I actually have a 3-bar one here. Let me see if you guys can, I don't know how well you can see that. Well, 3-bar map sensor. Hit me up a message, mate. I can post it too if you want. It owes me nothing, so yeah, if you don't want to search one yourself, hit me up and I'll send it to you. Pretty sure it comes with the plug too. Alright, I'm just going to quickly look and see. Fuck's sake, 12.8. What have we got? 6.5 minutes of the first half. Fuck's sake. Righto. Have you started to assemble yours, Sneezy? Too easy, corn-fed. Enjoy the rest of your night. Sneezy, it's a stock VY harness that has had the MAF deleted, EGR deleted, and it's a manual harness, and it's had the map sensor wired in, and it's the one I used to use actually. Got it right easy. Sorry, got it right here. So it's a standard VY harness. So you can see brown and 2 brown and 1 tan. The white plug that goes under the dash. Here is a 3-bar map sensor. I know 100% is a 3-bar one because my Calmaker tuner was using the 3-bar operating system, and this is the one when I was running 24-25 PSI, it was reading it fine. And then the rest is the factory wiring. It's also the throttle body wiring has also been adjusted, changed to suit the reverse intake manifold. The only thing about it is, which I can actually reattach, is one knock sensor wire. I just cut because I couldn't reach it, but I can reattach that anyway. But yeah, it's the full harness to suit. It's got the O2 sensor. The O2 sensors might have been moved to suit my turbo manifolds, but yeah, factory V-Light harness anyway. Yeah, would be no good because you're running auto. Too easy, Stab Jet. Cheers for jumping on the stream. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Yeah, if you got the block back on Friday, Arvo, you've had a full Saturday, almost a full Sunday. Could have had it all together. I would have had it in the car by now. Could have had it running by now. Ambitious? Nah, man. Doesn't take that long. Oh yeah, it's still 12.8. Full manual auto. Yeah, you would. I'm not sure how the 4060s work. If they still need any power, you might just have to feed it the 12 volt and ground, which you can do that easy with the plug from your harness, and then your reverse light as well. The reverse switch has the wire for this, so you could just cut that off and adapt it to yours. It could work, but at the same time, if say you did get Brushworks down, he'd be able to wire in a map sensor on yours within 10 minutes anyway. But yeah. Oh right, didn't you send the rotating assembly with your block to the machine shop? That's exactly why EcoJet's back on the hoist. I'll probably end the stream in about 20 minutes. Oh, it's frozen. Alright, I think we're back. I don't know what happened there that you guys might be delayed. And now it's in 360p. It might be time to end the stream soon. Yeah, I'm back. Wait, I think it's like stupidly delayed at the moment. Alright, so I need to do balancing at the shop. Have you looked into going after market though? I know it costs a lot, but honestly that would sort out a lot of issues. Too easy, Joel. Cheers for jumping on the stream. Hope you have a good rest of your night, good week at work. Oh, it's coming through on the laptop I'm typing on. Really unclear. Okay, there we go. Ooh, wait up. We've got a replay here in State of Origin of the try. Does this bring us back ahead? Ryan 2. 12-12, still the conversion to go. Got a chance. Yeah, that's fair enough, Sneezy. I could potentially do it for you, since I have my harness there. I can kind of see the lengths of everything and wire it the same as that, but just to suit aftermarket. You'll just have to tell me where the additional sensors are you running, if you are running any, or want any additional ones, or if you've deleted anything, and then I could do that. Or alternatively, you could send me your harness and I could freshen it up, you know, get rid of all the old tape and wrap and re-wrap it all nice, make sure all the connections are good. There's something that can be done anyway if you do go down that route and don't want to wire it yourself. It is something that I thought I might take on, maybe start on my weeks off, do a car, an R&R, until I build up a name for myself, and then might move just into wiring up, getting them started if I get a dyno, tuning them. No idea what they go for at the moment, so I don't want to say a number and it'd be stupidly high. Just inbox me after the stream, man, and we'll talk about it. I don't want much for it though. I want to see if they got that conversion. It's half time. Come on, show me the fucking score. Come on, bring it up. Oh, adverbs. So easy sneezy, cheers for jumping on the stream. Oh, I'm probably going to end it as well. Yeah, chat's gone dead, so there's no point pushing on. Yeah, pretty sure. Let me have a look for anyone that is just watching. Let me bring up my YouTube account and have a look. Alright, there we go. Dyno video comes out on the 9th, so keep an eye out on that. I've got 3 in between. I've got a little additional one that's coming out on a Wednesday, which I think is this Wednesday. Wasn't going to put it as a main video because I don't expect anyone really to watch it. But yeah, if you want to see a CHITCHAT in the dyno and you can actually see it make the 609 horsepower run, and every run was filmed glitchy from the moment it rolled onto the dyno, the key was on, I had the 2 GoPros filming the whole time and I just cut all the shit in between. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing that, July 9th is when it comes out. A couple of videos in between, and I've got a couple of videos after that, I think, that I filmed that'll get me by. And hopefully we get to see something happen. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end the stream. Cheers for watching again, and I will see you guys Wednesday, I think. Oh, yeah.